Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. This is the Fanspeak YouTube channel. Of course, please subscribe, like the video. We are going to overreact to everything we saw last weekend. Then, of course, look ahead to week 15. Not only a great week to bet, but the first week of the best ball playoffs.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Megan Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
New intro, new me, Jayme. It's like the new year came early. How are you doing today? We'll get this out of the way because we're not doing an hour on the Packers today. But let me congratulate you. You were absolutely right, and I knew I was dead like 5 minutes into that bet. I just could tell. I mean, I hate to say it, because it's going to feed into everything you say, but the difference is at quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not even saying that Caleb Williams isn't good. It's going to be quite the project for Ben Johnson. He just doesn't process fast enough. He misses so many throws.
Yeah.
He does make awesome plays, especially when you kind of put him in that play from behind situation.
Right.
But you have one guy that's polished and really, ready to go toe to toe with anyone, and another guy that still has so much to learn. But I think you have to be pretty excited if you're a Bears fan overall. I think that franchise might be a little better than you've been giving them credit for. They might have found the right guy at head coach. So we're going to do this briefly, talk about what you saw in that game, and go ahead and take your victory lap because I don't want to bury the lead here when we went head to head last week.
No victory lap, man. No, that's not needed. But it was a good game. To be honest, I was I don't want to say disappointed, but I felt like after the first half, like Packers getting the ball to start the second half, that there was a chance that they could have just kind of blew the doors off of it. But they struggled in the start of the second half. And the second half, the Bears played really well. Like, I agree. If you're a Bears fan, I think you got to be optimistic, man. Like, Ben Johnson to me is a hell of a coach. Your offensive line's really good. That running game is really good. And to be quite honest, like you said, if Caleb could just process a little faster, he probably hits Kmet for the game tying touchdown, even though I think they were going to go for two anyways to try to win it. Where that last play of the game when Keyshawn picked it off, but he processed too slow, let Nixon get back there and pick it off. But it was a good game, man. It was, and I won't lie, at first, the first possession for the Packers, they kind of moved down the field, and Jordan Love just threw a bad interception. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. I'm gonna have to keep the show on Tuesday. Jordan Love's making me look bad, and then he turned it on, and he looked great the rest of the game, and it was a fun game. Like, I feel like that's a game you had to appreciate, even though you were on the Bears side.
I texted you right after. Great win, at least it was close right down to the end. But I just felt like I was on the wrong side. But hold on, you said something about bad interceptions. And I think that leads us into what we saw last night because we had some conversations about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Tough night for me to be a Jalen Hurts truther, right? And I still think he's going to be okay. I think a lot of these problems come from the offensive line, and I think that offensive coordinator is bad. But I think it shows why that you love offensive head coaches so much because they can't get plucked away, right? Like, you can't take Matt LaFleur away. You can't take Ben Johnson away. Whereas we've seen this with Sirianni before, he needs to have strong coordinators around him. And Fangio is excellent, and he's the only reason they were in the game last night. But the reason that's on top of my head, I took Philadelphia last night. I felt the same exact way. Like, first drive, I'm like, I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah,
I'm on the wrong side. The strength of my bet I felt was the Philadelphia defense, and the Chargers were able to establish the run early. Took the pressure off Herbert, and then Herbert can make plays. I mean, he showed why, even though he doesn't have the playoff success, he's always so lauded here. Let's bring Tyler in. Tyler, we were talking about what we saw. I gave Jayme his props there for my plus 6.5 falling short, but your overall takeaways, and we were kind of talking about the Eagles and the Chargers right off the bat. Tyler? Hello? Can you not hear us? Jayme, why don't you jump in and break down Eagles and Chargers, and then we'll throw it to Tyler.
All right, yeah. What a miserable game, though, right? Real quick, I just have a bad beat fantasy football story for one of my redraft leagues. For one of my buddies, he was fighting to get into the playoffs, right? He would be the 6th seed. He wins, he's in. Loses, he's out. He has Jalen Hurts. The play right before Dallas Goedert catches the ball, he gets up by 0.02. Literally, I text us, please don't turn the ball over. The next pass was the interception, and then he loses. And I'm like, that has got to be one of the worst beats because Jalen Hurts, I think, scored in that game like 0.5 points. You would have bet everything you had, think that Jalen Hurts, you know what I mean, will be able to score a point to get you in. And
he's still a top 10 fantasy quarterback. I mean,
I know.
We can argue about how good he really is, but when it comes to putting up fantasy points, he's been legit.
Yeah, I agree. He's a good fantasy quarterback. I just truthfully, I don't want to say he's a bad real life quarterback. I just think he is more average. And I think you kind of said it. I think he's a system quarterback, right? Like he has had, he needs really good offensive coordinator. He needs a really good offensive line. I know saying a lot of people need this, but I think if you swap out Jalen Hurts for Josh Allen's probably a 3 or 4 time Super Bowl champion. And we're talking about him being the greatest quarterback of all time. Really, right? You give Josh Allen, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, and that defense. I think he probably wins a lot of Super Bowls and gets to Super Bowl more than he had to go up against Patrick Mahomes. But I just think Jalen Hurts is a pretty average passer, to be honest. I think that a lot of his success on offense comes from the run, and I think the writing was on the wall last year too. They were the best team in the league, and when being the best team in the league and you still your quarterback wasn't even in the top 11 in MVP. I don't think he got a single MVP vote, and your running back was 3rd. It's he was okay. I think he's best at playing in the system, and if he doesn't turn the ball over and he lets everything else kind of go his way, I think it will be good. But I've just, like I said, I'm not a Jalen Hurts guy.
Here's what I do like about him. He's always seemed to rise to the occasion. Even in the Super Bowl, they lost to Kansas City. I mean, he led the drive down the field before the one with the controversial holding call that the Chiefs brought back. Yeah. And then, in the Super Bowl win, same deal. So what I like about him is I know if we get there, I can count on him. And I just, these offensive coordinators mean so much now to me. Yeah. It doesn't even look like the same team.
Right. That's why I just think Josh Allen is so clearly the second best quarterback in the league. I'll still give Patrick Mahomes the credit to be number 1. But, I mean, Josh Allen has had 3 different offensive coordinators as well. His weapons are not very good. Offensive line has been pretty average. Defense has been bad sometimes. I just think Josh Allen is to me, I think is a tier above the Lamar and Burrow, who I would probably have as 3.
And Mahomes, when we're putting up there, it's a lifetime achievement award. I was talking to my buddy today.
100%.
He's missed more throws this year than I think the last 3 years combined, where he misses wide open receivers on him.
Last game was rough.
And we don't expect anyone to be perfect, but
no.
The margin of error that the Chiefs have with the way that they built the team, they almost do need him to be perfect, and it's been tough. Let's talk about that game. The Chiefs and the Texans was, of course, a big game there, and that was Sunday night football. The Texans plus the points, so that was a nice one that we all cashed, and I think we all agreed on that one.
Yep.
The only thing we messed up was not taking the money line, although, like I said before, I could have easily seen the Chiefs 2-point win. But that's first of all, people, and we might have done this last week. I don't think it's the end of the dynasty. I just think this year is going to be rough, and they're going to need to retool. Some questions about the play calling. Do you know about Nagy calling plays? My buddy called me and asked me, and I didn't know. He was obviously calling them on Sunday night, but they never officially announced a change. Has that been going on for a while and it just slipped under the radar?
It must have slipped under the radar. I didn't hear anything about that. I thought for sure it's still going to be Andy Reid, but the play calling was bad. And this, I know you're going to agree with me. That 4th and 1, going for a 4th and 1 on your 35-yard line, when the Texans weren't able to move the football the entire second half, that to me was like that was just screaming desperation, and that was just so not needed, man. Your defense was playing well. Houston's offense like couldn't even get past the 50-yard line, and you just gave them 3 points by not doing that, and like there was still 10 minutes left in the game or something like that. I was incredibly shocked. And like I said, if you're playing the Buffalo
He even came
Bills,
out and said it was a mistake.
Did he?
In the interviews this week. Yeah.
That was terrible. And I'm normally team aggressiveness. You know that. I normally like guys, but that just makes no sense. It's also, you got to contextualize a little bit, man. Like you're playing CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans, not Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, like it was 10-10 at the time. That was wild to me.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to overreact to that we saw last week?
Not really an overreaction or a hot take or anything, but I think this postseason, Josh Allen is going to be under tons of pressure because I think for the first time, he potentially might be able to get into the playoffs with no Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, and no Lamar Jackson. And I think when you're going to be going up against Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence and Drake May, who we love, but obviously Drake May is a second-year player, I think that he's going to, if he doesn't get it done this year, if he falls short in the AFC Championship game or something like that again, loses to CJ Stroud or loses to Trevor Lawrence, I think it's going to be a bad look for him. And I know I just said too, I think he's very clearly the best quarterback in the NFL right now playing, and probably the second best over the last decade. But no Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, no Joe Burrow. Like Josh Allen, you got to get it done in this postseason.
I mean, it depends. If they lose 45-42, I don't know how much.
Sure, I would imagine that Houston could not score 45 or wouldn't score 45. But you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Tyler, your takeaways from last weekend?
I mean, I think the Chargers are more live than we want to give them credit for. Yeah. I think. Hold on. What was another thing? I think Buffalo is probably our AFC favorite at this point.
Has to be.
Yeah. Unless you're just gonna put your feet down and tell me the Patriots or Denver are actually real, I'm still gonna probably take Buffalo there. Mm-hmm. Philly, what do we think there? Stick a fork in them,
dude. I'm interested to see what spread's gonna say about the matchup this week against the Raiders. That's a big number for a team that has not looked very good for over half the season now. But
dude, that's the ultimate get right spot.
And what about the Jags? Do we think they can make some noise in the AFC?
I'm curious, and we're going to talk about this, and I was noticing how many points they were laying this week, and I go, just in my head, I just don't treat them like a 9-4 team. Right? No, I mean, they have the same record as Buffalo. We just don't give them that credit. It's
technically, when you look at them, they've been better than Buffalo this year.
Yeah, statistically they have.
The AFC is just full. The AFC is just full of a bunch of teams. You look at them, and you can argue every day about them. We can go, this team this day, this team the next day. So one of these quarterbacks is going to get hot coming down the stretch. We can pull names out of a hat and guess and see who gets it right. We're not going to know until we see it. That's going to be the team that's going to be the biggest problem. It could be the Jags. It could be the Bills. It could be the Patriots. It could be the Broncos. It could even be the likes of the Chiefs if somehow they get there. Like, all it's going to take is one of these quarterbacks getting hot in the AFC, and they're going to make a run.
Yeah, and that's why I think you have to like the Bills, because he's the most likely one to do it. With that being said, let me transition right into my first pick, because it speaks about what we're just talking about, and that's the Buffalo Bills -1. I think they kind of overlooked the New England Patriots before, but they have to be circling this game right now with all the attention that the Patriots have given. And, we talked about this, and this is one of your reasons you warned me not to take the points with Chicago last week, Jayme, is that sometimes these strength of schedules, right? I mean, it's like, oh, cool, we're winning all these games, and we're getting on this great point differential and this and that. But who have they really done it against? And so far, I'd say the Patriots' biggest win was over the Buffalo Bills. Now the Buffalo Bills get a chance at revenge, and regardless of those other narratives, we always like to take the team if they're fairly evenly matched coming off a loss in these division rematches. Division rematches also tend to go under there. Interested to see if that's a look. Of course, that's a tough click with the Buffalo strength of the Buffalo offense and the weakness of their defense. Lean towards the under there, but Already placed this bet. Didn't even wait to hear what you guys had to say. Usually I do, but I just love this one so much. Jayme, I took the Buffalo Bills -1. Start with you. Your thoughts on that matchup between the Bills and the Patriots?
Yeah, I like it, man. I've been kind of saying for a couple of weeks, I think the Patriots are a good team and very promising future, but I think, like you said, the strength of schedule has definitely been in their favor. So I don't think that they're as good as the Bills. I don't. And I would take them here. I would take them in the playoffs if they played. It sucks. I really do like Drake May. Like, that guy's going to be a stud for the next decade. But I do think this is a good spot for the Bills to get revenge on New England and set themselves up for a nice little playoff run.
Tyler, I think that you're with us, huh?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, this is the spot where I think this is their big game. They need this win. I mean, it's a divisional game too, so it's the Bills. And if they lose this game, I think that tells you right there that maybe the Patriots are just that good, and they are the
I mean, that's what we'll be leading with next Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's what this game's going to decide right here.
All right. I don't know if that's good or bad that you guys both agree with me. That hasn't been the case a lot on the show this year. Jayme, your first best bet for week 15.
Let's just get this one out of the way real quick so we don't have to talk about it the rest of the time. Give me Green Bay -2.5. I took it -1.5 when it first came out on Sunday. I've said it all season long. When Green Bay is less than a touchdown favorite, you just bet them. They're 4-1 against the spread this year when they're less than a touchdown favorite. I make this Green Bay -3.5. I think Green Bay would be like a 6-point favorite in a neutral game if this was, like, say, the Super Bowl. And I think, I just, like I said a couple weeks ago, I think Green Bay is playing their best football right now. Last week was the first week where Green Bay had all of their wide receivers back. I think Jaden Reed's going to start to make a bigger impact. Christian Watson's looking really, really good. It's just a good football team in Green Bay. And again, it shouldn't be any surprise. I've been against Denver the last 2 weeks. Cashed on Washington, cashed on the Raiders last week, thanks to Pete Carroll on that one. But he got it done for us. But
I heard people arguing. One of the arguments was like, they play in Vegas. Of course he knew the spread.
Right. 100%. So I just think, like I said, it comes down. I really think this is probably a tough matchup for Jordan Love. I've told you before that I think Jordan Love's like biggest weakness is he does struggle when he is under pressure, and Denver is going to probably be able to generate some pressure. But I also think this is a really bad spot for Bo Nix. I think the Packers could kind of tee off on him, to be honest. So I think that this is just something less than a field goal. I just see the Packers winning by a field goal. Denver's just been so hot, and it feels like just a little overachieving a little bit. So give me Green Bay -2.5.
All right. I want to argue with you, and I'll do it for the sake of argument, but I'm not putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not willing to make this bet either. But, just for the sake of the exercise of the show, right? They come here to say us debate the Packers. One thing I would be worried about for your bet is this might be one of the few games where Green Bay will not have the better defense on the field. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And I know that it's really close and you can make arguments either way.
I think it's fair to say Denver
has been really impressive.
Yeah. I don't think
then you put Sartan on Watson, who I thought was the difference in that game. And going back to me lamenting my +6.5, I also, I say, if you flip the quarterbacks, but if Christian Watson wasn't out there, I wonder if they're still able to do that. His ability to stretch the field, his ability to hit those explosive plays really means a lot to that Green Bay offense. Let's see how they look if Surtain is able to shut him down. Maybe a big opportunity for Jaden Reed. How do you think they'll approach that? I would think they would put Surtain on Watson and let Jaden Reed get the 10 receptions for 70 yards or something, right?
No wide receiver in that room gets 10 receptions spread.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more rare. They spread it out quite a bit. And again, it's when they play when they have 11 personnel, that's when Jaden Reed will be out there because he just plays the slot. Denver, I'm pretty sure, is a pretty heavy man coverage team, and that is, like I've said for several weeks, just like Chicago, just like Detroit, when Watson blew up on both. Watson is one of the better man beaters in the NFL. Like on that crosser, as soon as they had single high coverage and they had a man.
Yeah, and he did a little hand. No, I was throwing.
Jordan Love.
dude.
Yeah, Jordan Love checked into that play, and then Watson said before or after the game, he's like, before that play even developed, I knew I was scoring a touchdown. Like Christian Watson
I was
is
anorexic, just throwing out. I mean, as soon as he made me, I'm like, we're screwed. But it'll be interesting to see if Yankees shut that down. Tyler, what do you think, buddy? Can you make an argument here for the Broncos, or am I going to be all alone in Mile High Stadium rooting for them?
No, you're all alone, buddy. I mean, this is going to be the argument every time he bets Green Bay this month. Looks at calendar, sees it's December. Matt LaFleur, Green Bay, 19-2 in December. Why am I going to fade him when it's under a touchdown and it's under a field goal?
Yep.
If they beat him by one, and they don't cover, oh well.
Right.
How much EPA does all that hair gel that Matt LaFleur adds? Is it?
I'll have to ask my wife.
I mean, it's like I don't think his hair can move. Like it could be like a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Like that's not moving.
It's solid, man. It's solid.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but don't feel strong enough. I'll be wondering to see how far this goes, though. I think it gets to 3.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it was at 1.5.
To wait. If you like Green Bay, I'd say now. I think it's gonna be one-way traffic.
Yeah.
Tyler, your first best bet for week 15.
Yeah, we're just gonna go back to one we used this week, and it cashed for us. It took overtime. It took Hurts being an absolute bum, but we got it. And that's the Chargers. Give me the Chargers plus 4.5 against the Chiefs. Hampton's back. Their defenses look legit. Herbert's gonna have another week under him for that hand to heal. And I think they'll be able to move the ball against the Chiefs. I don't think McDuffie will be back. He got banged up in that last game. If he's not back, they'll be able to throw also on this defense. And I think that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back with the Chiefs last week, where they kind of know they're out now. So you might just see this team give up. Like some of these older guys might just give in, not give the same effort that they were giving the last few weeks. So I'm on the Chargers here. They need this game. Plus 4.5. I think they can win it outright.
Okay, so that was my second best bet. That's the other one I placed. I actually got them at plus 5 offshore, and I just think this line is wrong. I mean, take the names off the jerseys and just look at what these teams have done statistically. How does that garner the Chiefs being 5-point favorites? Most you could give me is -2. That's the most I think that you could possibly make it. And I think the Chargers showed last night that they can get the pass rush. Now, obviously, that was the key to our Texans handicap, as we said, hey, look at the Chiefs' 2 Super Bowl losses against Tampa and then against Philadelphia. They just got destroyed on the offensive line. And as great as Mahomes was, he didn't have time. We saw that again on Sunday night. I think the Chargers showed that they do have enough pass rush to get some pressure there. I think they will have the ability to run the ball. And when it comes down to it, I think Herbert can stay close enough here. I mean, if the Chiefs do win, they're going to win. It's going to be by 2 or 3 points. It's going to be a game-winning field goal. They're not blowing this team out. I took the Chargers plus 5 as well. Jayme, your thoughts there? Do you think that maybe we're getting a little bit too recency bias? Are we overreacting to what we saw and maybe burying the Chiefs a little bit too early? Or do you want to join us with the Superchargers?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it could be a recency bias when it's been like this for like 14 weeks now, right? It's like I just don't think the Chiefs are very good. Like they'd probably be like a 2-win team, like if you gave them Bo Nix instead of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Truthfully, right? Like they're just I don't think they're very good. I really don't.
The Chargers defense also does very well covering wide receivers and slowing down the pass game. The way Philly was able to beat them last night was more on the ground. Saquon was gouging them for some big runs last night.
Yeah.
I don't see Pacheco and Kareem Hunt doing that. So
yeah,
you're going to try and beat them where they're strongest at on their defense too. I like Chargers' chances here.
Yeah.
I also think the Chargers can get ahead early and shorten the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they will be able to run the ball. So, all right, we're both on the Chargers. That was my second best bet as well. Now I got to look because those are the only 2 I've actually placed. I'm going to look for number 3. But Jayme, what's your next best bet here for week 15?
Let's go back to fading Chicago Bears. Give me Cleveland plus 7.5.
I got 8.
Okay, nice. I just think it's too big of a number, and the Bears just struggle. I mean, Bears are kind of similar to Green Bay, where you're not going to see them cover a lot of these big spreads. Just the way they want to play is they want to slow the game down. They want to have long 10 to 15 possession or play possessions, and they want to be able to run the football down your throat. And I think that's just not conducive to beating teams by 8+ points. And I just think the Cleveland's defense is pretty good. I just see this being a lower scoring game. I could see this being like a 20-13 game, right? Or 17-10, 17-13 type of game. Not saying Cleveland wins outright, although I'll obviously be rooting for that. But I just think it's a good spot to back a Cleveland team with a good defense. Although Tony Pollard did just resurrect last week. It's funny because remember last week I actually bet the Titans, and I even made a little joke. I was like, he's due. I was like, this is the game.
Yeah.
And like, that's just we don't know anything. Like Tony Pollard just going off against the Browns. Like, come on, dude. You haven't done that all season long, which is just hilarious.
Set the record for like the lowest yards per average of a starting running back through like so many games. And then he does that
against the Browns, you know,
and with the Browns at home at that, where the defensive splits were so much better.
Oh, it was insane. So, you know, maybe I'm overrating this Cleveland run defense a little bit too much, and maybe Monangai and Swift just run down their throat. But either way, I just think it's going to be a game that's going to have maybe each team gets 3 possessions each half, right? It's like possessions are at a premium, and this just ends up being like a 7-point game or something like that is kind of what I think. I just like getting the 7.5, or if you got the 8, I'd feel good about that.
So, hey, I haven't looked yet. You know, it's our favorite stat to debate about. I know, like, for counting stats for fantasy, Shedeur hasn't been that bad, right? He's thrown for like 750 yards. He's got a bunch of touchdowns. What's his EPA, though? Because his completion percentage is really low. Tell me what you thought about Shedeur Sanders so far.
I don't think he's been very good. The EPA, I think he's like bottom 6 or 7 so far, but his success rate is like is bad. It's like worse than JJ McCarthy's bad. Really? And it's funny. I actually just because for the sake of it, because I know we are arguing about Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love over the weekend. So I actually did just redo my quarterback rankings, and then Shedeur is holding that 32nd spot on the rankings.
No, he's got to be way higher than that.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know about way higher, but I don't think I'd have him in the dead last spot.
Who would you have over him?
I mean, do we
under him
or behind him? I guess under him.
Gino,
who's categorized as the Jets quarterback right now?
I put Tyrod Taylor on there.
Okay, well that if we're using him, then technically be ahead of him. I'm probably putting.
I'd rather have Shedeur than Tyrod Taylor.
And whoever they pulled out of the first row on Sunday once Tyrod went down, I'd probably put him behind Shedeur.
Yes, is that Brady Cook?
Yeah, Brady Cook. Yes, I agree. We're talking about
the guy that came in for Daniel Jones.
Hey, Riley Leonard. My Notre Dame's been through enough this week. I don't need no Riley Leonard slander on here.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is true or not. I got to look this up. They said Phillip Rivers' oldest kid is older than Tyler Warren.
I mean,
there's a good chance that's true.
You know, he was going to go in the Hall of Fame next year, and now he's going to go back 5 years.
I know we didn't get a touch on this yet, but I absolutely love it, and this makes me want to root on the Colts the rest of the year. I can't even lie. Like, just get Phillip Rivers into the playoffs. That's all I want to see. Like, I just think it's an awesome story, man. So, Phillip Rivers would probably be 32nd if I had to redo that with the Phillip Rivers news today. But and your Geno Smith, by the way, I have him 31st, so he's knocking on the door.
And Sanders is way better than Geno. Geno is terrible. Better,
but I don't know. Maybe.
Warren's a month older than Rivers' oldest kid.
That is awesome. I wonder how it's going to shake out. You know, like what do we think about like some of these skill position guys for them? Like, do you think it's going to help Pittman, Tyler Warren? I feel like I have not looked this up, but it feels like, you know, Rivers had obviously
do we even know
rapport with Antonio Gates. No.
Like I don't think you could base this off of any numbers. Mm-mm. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I am making him beat me. You're getting the box stacked against JT. You got to throw the ball. If I'm getting beat,
might be able to do the last thing that goes is your ability to throw darts.
No, I agree. I agree with you.
He's gonna be a statue.
I agree with you. That's the thing, though. He might be a statue, and how many hits can he take? Send heat and don't let JT run.
I am so excited to watch this game. I can't even lie to you.
I would say Flacco. That would be my comp. Like, what did Flacco do with the Bengals, right? I mean, kind of the same.
But Flacco's
deal.
at least. But the thing is, like, has Phillip Rivers been active? Has he been like in the backyard just chucking the pigskin? Has he been working out? Like, that's the thing. Well, like, Joe Flacco at least has been on.
I can brought him back, right? Because one of the sons, he coaches his team, and they were running the same exact offensive system. So they were talking on the phone about the different ways to do the plays every single week because they run the same exact scheme. So he already knows the terminology and everything. Yeah. Because he's been coaching this scheme here at his son's high school football team. So that
is awesome. I'm telling you, that's like outside of the Packers.
Yeah,
game.
I think we have
that's
to
my
root
favorite
for
game. Yeah, I'm all in, dude. Like let's go, Phillip. Go win some games. Go get into the playoffs.
Are we taking plus 13.5? What a terrible way to start. We talked about the poor kid Brosmer, right? You have to travel to Seattle. Although I don't think Rivers will be as shook. What's up?
No. Could you imagine the storyline if they win that game? Like that's just gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome, man. I'm all aboard it.
All right, so you're on the Browns plus 8, and we both say it's.
How bad is the outlook for the Colts after how good they started this year? Talk about just a drastic change of events.
And,
you look like you could have went through the AFC through 6 weeks and been like, all right, they could actually win something. Like they could just ride this out, ride JT and Daniel Jones. Maybe they make a Super Bowl, maybe not win it. They go get Sauce Gardner. It's like, oh, they're getting the defense together. Sauce goes down. Daniel Jones ruptures his Achilles after fracturing his other leg. He's probably out all of next year. Anthony Richardson's not going to be there. You have to pay Daniel Jones now. You don't have your next 2 first-round picks. It went bad quick.
Yeah, and I will I give you guys credit. I was on the Colts side, and granted, I was not handicapping Riley Leonard playing the last 3 quarters, which I definitely would not have taken the Colts. But even with Daniel Jones in there, it was 14-7, and it wasn't feeling good. It wasn't a bet where I was like,
you could tell he was that fractured leg was giving him way more issues.
Yeah.
Like if I honestly think if Anthony Richardson was healthy, he wouldn't have been on the field. They would have said, you're going to sit down for 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to let him try and run this offense to see who's getting paid in the offseason, and then you can come back in. But without him there, they were like...
I didn't think Riley Leonard looked that bad. As someone who was on the Jaguars, I was sitting there going, he doesn't look that bad. I mean, he ended up making some mistakes, but he threw some nice passes too. He's placed with some poise. I actually put a little waiver claim in for him in Dynasty. I wonder if I got it.
Well, the thing is, he can run. So I do think like if he had to be the starter, is like Shane Steichen needs to come up with like more of like that Anthony Richardson type of package for Riley Leonard, because that is definitely where he is.
But what was it? A concussion? I mean, is he just
he's hurt now too. He might not play.
He's hurt. I don't think it's a concussion.
Well, of course, otherwise they wouldn't even. I mean, is it going to be a while? Like, is there any chance he plays again this season?
You're going to get a notification.
Not when Phillip wins comeback player of the year.
You're going to get a notification in a couple days, maybe even tomorrow. The Bengals and Joe Flacco part ways mutually, and then 10 minutes later, Flacco's on his way to Indianapolis to be a Colt.
And then Tomlin will give another speech about it.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Yeah.
We'll lose to Flacco in the first round of the playoffs. That's how it'll happen.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's I mean, did we bet that before the season? Wild card loss?
I mean, that's just an auto bet at this point.
How did we not bet that, right? I mean, even at like minus 300.
It's inevitable.
I was surprised you guys got that
before we get into my next bet, I have to ask you guys the question. This is the only thing we're going to talk about in this game because I'm not doing it. I'll leave. Was it a touchdown or not?
Which one?
The likely one.
Oh, like the
catch ball with possession, take 2 steps in end zone, play should be over, and they say no touchdown.
That's insane. I was actually seeing last night they played a game where like all these random catches for the last like several years came up, and it's when you see them, you're like, dude, half the time they call it a catch, half the time they don't.
Yeah, they legit. Best way to say it is they pick and they choose which calls they want to make and which ones they don't.
Yeah.
Because think like for instance, if that play goes this way instead of that defensive back being wrapped around him, knocking ball out of his hands as he comes down. Let's say, for instance, he's coming like a missile the other direction, likely catches ball, takes 2 steps, gets hit, and gets decapitated. He's out cold. He drops the football. they're going to call that a touchdown and say he had possession of the football in the end zone with 2 feet down, and the play ended before his head got blown off his shoulders. That should have been a touchdown. They cheated that team.
I would agree. And I will also say real quick. So
bro, you're like the worst fan of all time.
And Mike Robb's right also. The Rodgers catch should have
also. Don't root for me.
Yeah.
I just hate, like, it's one of those things. This is the week. The media started talking. They started talking about Tomlin's extension. Were they going to push it in the offseason?
What happens? The option year?
What happens? We luck box a win where calls shouldn't have went our way. 2 calls that decided the game. And now guess what? Everything's good in Pittsburgh. Guess who's getting 4 more years?
Bro, I don't see why you're mad at Tomlin. Be mad at your GM. You have the worst GM in the league.
He's been here 2 years, Spread. It's not his fault.
Yes, it is. He signed Aaron Rodgers instead of actually going for a real quarterback.
You think he wanted the old man? That's your guy pushing for these people, Spread.
My guy?
Yes, your guy Tomlin.
Yeah, after he saw all the people that he drafted, he goes, "Oh, that's what you're giving me? Yeah, give me Rodgers because there's another terrible draft class."
Tomlin that was in the draft room.
Caleb Johnson, great job, GM. Thanks, buddy.
Tomlin that was in the draft room screaming for Jarvis Jones. Tomlin that was in the draft room screaming for Terrell Edmonds ahead of Lamar Jackson. Like, what are we talking about, Spread?
To be fair, every team did that.
We needed a quarterback at that point. Ben was 38 years old, coming off elbow surgery.
You're going to go back to that for like, dude, I would hate to date you. You're like the girl I dated that would bring shit up from like 2 years ago. And I'm like, that was 2 years ago. Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
This is my other argument here. And everyone just goes, oh, well, you're spoiled. Da, 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 da.
You are.
I was in high school 10 years ago. So from 10 years ago until now, I watched my high school team win 5 state championships. They just put another one on the board last year. So you think they gave a shit about any of these seasons when them trophies didn't come home? No. Do you think we watched 2 Super Bowls come home? Do you think we give a shit about any other years when they don't bring that trophy home? No. We're tired of wild card losses. You can call me spoiled all you want. This town wants winning. We don't want, you can win 9 games and that's it. Jayme knows. Green Bay loves bringing home trophies. None of them other seasons mattered.
Nope.
We need a little change here.
Yep. I agree.
Too complacent, too comfortable.
Twice since I graduated high school. And
we're not the Raiders, Spread.
No, the Packers.
Oh.
It's not like they're just sitting up here trophy after trophy either.
Yeah, but that's also why Mike McCarthy got fired like 5 years after.
And didn't have a losing season.
That was probably the right thing. I mean, that was probably the right thing. He's one of the most overrated coaches we've ever seen. So, all right. What's your next pick, Tyler? I shouldn't have let you do that. Why did we're just going to
spin back around. We're going to bury another team. We're going back against Mike Robb's team. They might have got cheated last week. The refs ain't helping them this week either. I think the Bengals bury them. I think their defense is absolute garbage. They let Rodgers and Metcalf and these guys move the ball on them. I mean, their offense, you could pick it out every game where the Steelers are going with the ball. And the Ravens still couldn't stop it. They were letting those guys go everywhere on the field. And come back into town. Here comes Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and these guys. I think they're putting up 40, and I don't think the Ravens are going to be able to keep up. So Bengals as an underdog, I'll take that money on. They're winning that game outright.
Mike Robb, I'm so old. When I was in high school, there was no Titans. They were the Oilers. All right. Cincinnati, I agree with you too there. To me, that
the Texans weren't even a team yet.
Yeah. Texans didn't exist. I remember when the Miami Heat came around and I think it was 1989. Everyone I'm going to be a Heat fan and buying starter jackets and stuff. All right. I agree with you though. I'm on the Bengals. Plus I didn't bet it, but that's the side I would go to too. We talk about how bad that Bengals defense is, but the Ravens is just as bad. And I almost like this Bengals offense more than the Ravens at this point, but that's just because I'm a Joe Burrow apologist. Jayme, what do you think? Do you want to be contrarian here and back Lamar Jackson, who's going through one of the worst stretches in his career? I don't think he's even this bad as a rookie.
No, yeah, it's been rough. No, I will lean with the Bengals. I'm not going to touch a side, but I do like Isaiah Likely anytime touchdown plus 240. Just the Bengals defense is terrible against tight ends. Should have scored last week, but also almost scored against the Bengals in their first match on Thanksgiving Day and dropped the ball at the 1 yard line.
51 might not be high enough. Let's be honest.
I got 52, I'm sure.
What did they get to last game? Like 70?
Yeah.
And
what's the weather before we do that? That'd be the only thing we worry about, right?
Just judging by this past Sunday, I don't give a shit. There was all that snow and what was going on.
I'm just worried about wind.
And they still got to 70.
Yeah. I think too, like Mark Andrews is like plus 140 and Isaiah Likely at plus 240. Just give me Isaiah Likely, man. I like that spot for him, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, Jayme, do you have any more bets for everybody?
Last one for me is Arizona plus 9.5. Again, this is my classic, just like the Titans one last week. The classic team that gets blown out by 20 plus the week before, dogs the following week. Hit about 58% of the time, 10% ROI. Arizona fits that mold. And also, like I said, I like Houston, but 9.5 still feels a little too much for me. Like, I just could see
they don't have the offense to be laying double digits.
Yeah,
this is not an offensive team.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, could they win like a 20-10 game? Sure, but I think Jacoby in this offense has looked all right. Like, I could see just this being a much closer game than people think. I just think the market now is overreacting a little bit on Houston, whereas I think several weeks ago they were honestly undervaluing them. And like I said, I think Houston's a really good team, best defense in the league by far. But I just think 9.5.
No, they have a chance to make the Super Bowl. We talked about how wide open it is, but they're not going to be doing it with double-digit margins.
No,
all the games are going to be 20-17. 23-7. This team doesn't. And I don't think this Cardinals defense is that bad. I mean, I could say one thing about them laying 10 if they were going against the Bengals or the Ravens.
Right.
And, some of these teams, I don't know, the Saints defense is all right, right? The Raiders, there's some teams with terrible defenses. I was with you. That jumped out to me. I thought that's way too high. I thought the line should have been like 7.5.
Yeah.
7. Something. I mean, they just don't have the offense to blow people out. Tyler, what do you think there about CJ Stroud and the Texans? Will they finally get a blowout win? It's something they haven't done all year.
I think maybe not a blowout, but I think they could comfortably sit on a 10-point lead and win the game. And maybe their offense doesn't look the best. Maybe the offense only gets to 21. The defense probably gets a touchdown this game. Those edge rushers are going to be all over Jacoby Brissett. He probably throws a pick or two in this game too. I wouldn't be surprised if they get an extra 7 on the board that you're not expecting. That does make it the 17-point game where that touchdown in the end doesn't even get you to the 9.5 that you need. So I would lean Houston. I also think Stroud could be one of those quarterbacks where he just doesn't put it together until the end of the year. Like maybe this is the week where the Cardinals defense isn't that good. He puts it together. Him and Nico.
Well, you know what came back, right? Tank Dell finally came back. I think that helps him a lot just to feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, now they have what?
That was his first game this year.
They have like 6 receivers now. They have Nico, Higgins. Higgins looks like a damn tight end running routes too. That dude is huge. Schultz is out there, their tight end. Tank Dell's back. Noel's out there. Kirk's out there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have a lot of weapons, so he might be one. We said it. One of these quarterbacks is going to get hot. He might start it right here.
All right. So Jayme and I like the points there. Tyler giving a nice contrarian argument for the Texans.
My other thing too is like you look at their injury report this past week. They were down 1, 2. They had what is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 guys missed the game, and the likes of Trey Benson, who was their starting running back. I know they have their replacements in there. Greg Dortch missed. Marvin Harrison missed. That legit left Michael Wilson out there by himself. Derek Stingley's not going to let that man go for the 100 yards that he's been going for. So they're going to lock that down. Josh Sweat played but didn't practice at all last week. They were missing a safety, missing multiple defensive linemen, missing 2 corners. Like this, if none of these guys come back or even just a couple of them, they could be in for a rude one here.
All right. Tyler, what's your next bet?
My next one is going to be, let me scroll through here because I actually didn't have another one.
All right, let me give you one that I haven't placed yet, but I wanted to.
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead.
I mean, you go ahead first because I think we might be in the same place.
I don't think so because I usually don't do this. I want to lay it with the Cowboys.
Well, no, I want the Panthers.
All right. I don't really have much of a reason. I just like laying it with the awesome offenses, and I just love the way the Cowboys offense is. I know the Vikings have an excellent defense, but Dak is an experienced quarterback, and I expect him to be able to mitigate that blitz pretty well, not to mention the running game of Javonte Williams. and I just don't trust the Vikings to score. I think the Cowboys defense, talk about a tale of two halves, right? We talk about that in college basketball. It's been a tale of two halves for this Dallas defense, where it was, a historically bad defense for the first 7 weeks. And then the last 7 weeks, it's been pretty good. I mean, it's at least average. And when you pair it with that offense, that's a recipe to cover spreads. I mean, if Houston can lay 10, Dallas in that offense can definitely lay 5.5. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. Jayme, what do you think?
I like that call. I like that call. Okay. Even if CD misses, I still like that call.
Yeah, I lean Dallas. Minnesota's just a weird team. I don't know. I like Kevin O'Connell a lot as a coach, and their defense is good. I'm going to stay away, but if I had to choose a side, I would probably choose Dallas. I was a little just disappointed on Dallas the last game against Detroit, to be honest. It's pretty disappointing on that game because I think we were all on Dallas on that game as well. So
their defense is plus 850.
No, I like Detroit in that one. Oh, actually, I didn't make this bet either, too, Tyler, and then we'll let you break down your Carolina. But since we're speaking of them, I kind of like the +6 with the Lions. I thought that line should have been 4. What do you think, Jayme?
Well, as a Packer fan, I'm actually going to be rooting for the Lions pretty big here, just because that helps.
Isn't that weird?
Pathway of getting the it's really weird, but just helps Packers have a better chance at potentially getting the 1 seed. And I mean, look, if you're going to back a team, Dan Campbell is a pretty good guy to back. He's like the best coach in the league as far as covering the spread. I think he hits like 66% of the time. So I think it's like 68% of the time as a favorite also, or as an underdog. Sorry. So I think it's a good spot. It's a fun game. Again, it's one of those things. I think a couple weeks ago we were kind of all writing off Detroit, and then it could just be one of those games where, Detroit's a volatile team. I think some weeks they look really good, and some weeks they look really bad. I think they have a chance for an upset, and I'll be rooting for it. I won't be betting it. I'll just be watching with my heart.
I like the +6. So there's no way I can lay it with the Rams. I mean, the Rams arguably are the best team in football. However, I do think the Lions match up well. What do you think, Tyler? You've been pretty high on the Rams all year.
Yeah, I'd be on the Rams here. I mean, you guys talk about Dan Campbell, but let's not forget the elephant in the room here, who coached Jared Goff before he got traded to Detroit because he didn't feel like he could win with the man.
McVay.
Yeah, who's going to know all of Goff's weaknesses? McVay.
Yeah, but I don't think Detroit's going to try and win through the air. I think they're going to try and run the football. They have Jahmyr Gibbs.
You can't. That's not how you beat the Rams. You beat them through the air. Their defense is weaker through the air. You seen it last week with the Cardinals.
No, I know their biggest weakness is their secondary.
Yes, that's how you got to beat them is through the air, and they are going to put pressure on Goff, and I don't think they're going to let him beat him through the air. So I like the Rams here, and I think Stafford's just going to light that defense up.
No, I think the Lions defense will do pretty good.
I also feel like McVay is one of them guys where over his dead body is Goff getting a win over him.
We're talking about
maybe
+6 there, Tyler. 24-20.
I will just say that I do think the Rams' weakness is the secondary, but when they lost to the Panthers, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle ran for, I want to say 150 combined yards between the two. Chuba Hubbard, 17 rush attempts for 83 yards, 4.9 yards per carry. Rico added 58 in there. I think Gibbs right now to me is just the best running back in the NFL. He's just a guy I think could easily bust off of a couple. I do agree that the Rams' weakness is definitely their DBs, but I think they can be ran on too. So I'm not, like I said, I just think Detroit's a team that that we kind of wrote off a couple weeks ago, and I think we've all been really high on the Rams. Justified. I think they're the best team in the league right now. But I just wouldn't be super shocked if, Detroit came out there and this is a close game. And like Spread says, maybe it's a 3-point, maybe Goff doesn't win, but maybe they lose by 3. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think the Lions keep it close. Tyler, why do you like the Panthers going to New Orleans to take on the Saints?
I mean, we're going to fade a Saints team under a field goal coming off back-to-back wins the Saints now have? Mm-hmm. A big divisional win over Tampa Bay. Carolina's fighting for
which is like their Super Bowl. They hate each other.
Carolina's
I was just saying Tampa Bay hates New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Carolina
game
might be able to sneak their way into the playoffs, maybe even sneak their division. So I think that they want this game coming off a bye week too. They're going to have a nice game plan, and they can move the ball on the Saints in this dome. The Saints aren't going to put much pressure on Bryce Young. They should be able to move it on the ground with Dowdle and Hubbard, and you should be able to use Ted through the air. And Ted had a week to get healthy too, so I think they win the game by at least a touchdown. You're getting -2.5. So if they do win it by a field goal, you still cover there.
All right. I can't really argue there. I'm not going to make a good argument for this.
How many weeks are Tyler Shuck and these guys going to keep running in touchdowns too? He ran in 2 last week. I don't think you're getting that this week.
Yeah,
my one worry about this Panthers team is, again,
they flip-flop every other week.
Yes. It's like they beat Green Bay and everyone's like, this team. And then the following week, they go and lose to the Saints.
In my defense, Jayme, they beat the Rams 2 weeks ago, so they should have been bound this past week, and they had a bye week. So
they scrimmaged in practice and lost somehow.
Yes.
No, in my head, it feels like Carolina should be like a no-brainer bet. So I am 100% with you. But it's just a team that, like, also if they came out and scored 7 points, would I be shocked? But no, I do think that the Panthers are just a better football team. And they, like you said, they have a chance here, they have a chance to be able to like squeak into the playoffs potentially. So, but that's where I'm at. I would lean with your side for sure.
All right, Tyler, let's talk about Monday Night Football. Mike Tomlin is a favorite. Give me the Miami Dolphins, bro. Give me the 3.5. We never bet Tomlin as a favorite, right? I mean, doesn't this seem like they should just smoke this team?
Listen,
which means
you
know they're going to
don't know how bad I want to click that button spread. But I know if I click that button, Tua's throwing 2 picks. He's getting strip sacked 3 times. The defense is going to look like it's 2012 again, and we're going to win. So I've made the decision. I can't do what Jayme does anymore. He bets Green Bay every week. I'm just not gonna pay attention to them anymore. I'm not even gonna say their name anymore. They don't even exist. It's just them.
Okay. Tyler put the whole team in the Roman Wilson category. No, we're not sure if they exist. Jayme, what do you think, man? You know I'm a big Tomlin guy, but one of the weaknesses he's had as a coach is he gets his guys up when nobody believes in them, but when they're supposed to win, a lot of times they put forward some disappointing performances. Do you think the Dolphins can keep this one close?
I kind of do lean with the Dolphins, and you might not even like this, but I think they might have a coaching edge, at least from an offensive standpoint.
Well, for sure they do. McDaniels or whatever his name 100%. Is 10 times better than Arthur Smith.
100%.
I don't know if you guys caught it, but like the reoccurring theme after every week is rewatching the Steelers plays and seeing where guys line up. DK was playing fucking gunner on one of those punts at the end of the game last week. What are we doing?
I think this Dolphins team, and we talked about it several weeks ago, like they've turned it around. Their defense is actually not that bad. They have a good run defense. And the big thing is HN, it sounds like he's going to be good to go, but I don't trust like Jalen Wright as much. HN to me is like an actual difference maker in this game. And I think he'd cause problems for Pittsburgh. So I would lean with Miami. But again, would I be shocked if Tua comes out there and throws 3 interceptions? Like, I wouldn't at all. But I would lean with Miami.
Plus, as an old guy, dude, we don't like it when it's cold. I mean, there's a reason.
Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it when it's cold. Did you see Jordan Love did an interview today on like Pat McAfee, and they're asked if like you seem like you like it out there. He goes, "No, I hate it. Yeah, I hate it. No one likes playing in the cold.
When it's 12 degrees and the wind's blowing.
Yeah, no one likes it. Well, I mean, Rodgers, I guess you should say, should be much more used to it than a Tua. Not that I think it matters, but
yeah. See, it was just smart. Mike Robb says the DK thing was smart. He took 2 to 3 small Ravens backup corners to block him, freeing up all the other players to make the tackle.
Think about the implication of that spread. Imagine those 2 just blow him up. They throw him around. He gets hurt. Now we have no wide receivers.
But I think that's where you're like DK Metcalf. I mean, he looks like a WWE wrestler, right? I mean, the guy.
How many times has he pulled his hammy though?
Yeah, but you're not gonna pull your hammy like pancaking some little 5'8", 180-pound cornerback.
Maybe he's hurt, isn't he? Like
he was already hurt coming into the game.
I think they said he's still going to play, but they said he'd probably
be. They poisoned him after the game. He's got like food poisoning or something. He's not practicing all week.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some kind of stomach virus. He was in the hospital after the game.
Yeah.
Another game that stood out to me. You took the Titans last week, Jayme. Can we take them plus 13.5 here?
No, that was my one time taking the Titans, right? And I was like, this just fits. And to be honest, they almost blew the game anyways. You know, like you had a career game from Tony Pollard, and they still almost blew that game to Shador. So I want no part of this Titans team. The 49ers, I think, are like a wild card team to watch in the NFC. Again, obviously, we need Brock Purdy to start playing a little bit better. But coming off of a bye, there's a chance that we could see a much better Brock Purdy. I think CMC's been awesome. Kittle's been awesome. Starting to get healthier at wide receiver. I just think they're a sneaky good team, to be honest. And I'm a Kyle Shanahan fan too. So I have no interest in backing the Titans against the 49ers coming off of a bye.
I can't like 13.5 of them, though. Tyler, do you have any more games you want to talk about?
Nope, that's pretty much it for me. I'm scrolling through here. Jets, Jags. We know how that goes. Raiders, Eagles. I would lean the Raiders, but they'd be really tough for me to click that button.
No, we're gonna get smoked this week. Philly coming off a loss.
They're coming off like 3 losses spread.
Our defense is gonna give up like 300 yards rushing.
Yeah, but Genty might be able to run through his defense because I don't think Carter will be back this week either.
I don't know.
I wouldn't feel comfortable laying the 11.5 of what I've seen from the Eagles. No. Other than that, I mean, we talked about every other game.
That's because you don't watch the Raiders, Tyler. If you watch the Raiders, you would feel comfortable.
I mean,
arguably the worst team in the NFL. I mean, they're so bad.
Yeah, what do you think about you're going to get Mendoza, that absolute cringe ball? Did you see that interview that he had after the game on Saturday?
He was staring straight into the camera.
Bro, it gave me
even more, Jayme.
That gave me Bill Goldberg vibes. Like Bill Goldberg trying to cut a promo back in WWE, WCW.
Now I'm loving him even more, Jayme.
Oh, bro. I'm like, this guy can't speak. Like, this is rough, man. Like, again, he is a great football player, so you don't care, but I saw someone say he's like Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins combined or something like that. Like he's just. I was just like, are you kidding me? Is this really happening? Like, is he reading off of a script right now? Like it was brutal, man.
Well, my buddy and I were talking about it, and he's from one of those like mega churches, and you know that once they realized he had athletic talent, like the influential leaders of those church pulled him aside and let him know, like, gave you these gifts for a reason. You know, you have an opportunity to use your play to spread this mess. I mean, he's been like trained by the church to do this.
Yeah.
It'd be interested to see, especially if he goes to Las Vegas.
We are going to get some hilarious post-game interviews out of this kid.
Dude, 100%.
But I think we're gonna blow it, dude. I think we're gonna beat the Giants and blow it.
What does it matter?
I'm so worried.
Giants aren't going to take Mendoza.
Yeah, the Giants.
If they have the number one pick, everyone can trade up for him.
That's fair. I haven't looked at like who else
outbid us.
If you're the Giants, you might be content with just adding either Reese or what's the kid's name out of Miami, Bain Jr.
Ruben Bain
and just
Jr.
It'd be another edge rusher to that defense or a linebacker, and just bolster that defense even farther. Because
I'm just worried, like New Orleans or Arizona or one of these teams that needs a quarterback just comes in and says, like, we'll give you two extra
maybe,
first rounders. You know,
the thing is like if the Giants are at 1, and like just the way the order plays out right now is Giants 1, Raiders 2, Titans 3, Browns 4, Saints 5, Washington 6, Jets 7. The Browns aren't guaranteed to take a quarterback. They might not. Everyone has them penciled in just to take one of these guys. Maybe Shador plays good enough for him for the end of the season. I don't know if you guys caught the notification or not. Sean Watson's back practicing, and they said they want him back next year.
Oh.
So they might just give these guys another run. So they might not draft a quarterback. Tennessee's not drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm just worried, like, if Tennessee got 1, 2, they'd be the same deal. It'd just be like, is Minnesota
I think Tennessee
would,
I think Tennessee would be more likely to trade out because they have so many more holes they need to fill to where if the Giants went, let's pluck the best overall player who's a linebacker out of the draft and just plug him into our already pretty good defense. Getting back Neighbors, getting back Scatabo, on top of the money they can spend in free agency to bring in more guys. I don't think you need all that extra ammunition to the Giants. You take the best player.
You're right. I've rooted for this team for so long. Nothing seemed to go right. We're gonna get some meaningless win, and it's gonna suck.
You know what's gonna happen though, real quick. Just since we're talking about the draft, real quick, I'm telling you, the Chiefs are gonna probably fall maybe in like the 18th, 15th, 16th, 18th, maybe somewhere around there. They're gonna take my boy Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame, and they're gonna fill up that running back spot. And that's going to be one spot where, like, I think it actually makes sense for a team to take a running back in the first round. Generally, I don't like that very much at all. But, like, the Chiefs are a team. Like, you already got Mahomes, right? You got Andy Reid. You got Rashee Rice, Worthy. I think that would be – all I'm saying is next year, best ball season, give me all the Jeremiah Love. That's all I'm saying.
A rookie? Sign me up. I'm ready.
You're in.
I'm ready to. I've already been scouting the Penn State guy. There's one other guy. There's the guy from Penn State, and then his backup or whatever is like rated higher. It's in an interesting. Tyler, you might know more about that. You're a Pennsylvania guy. Do you know about that Penn State running back situation? The guy that I'm thinking about, the backup.
I do know there's two good ones. You're also forgetting about the kid.
His name Price.
Jadarian Price for Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the backup at Notre Dame. That's
who I'm thinking of. Yeah, no, he's hella good too.
Oh, he's really good. I want him to go to Green Bay, to be honest.
Yeah,
I want
You're also forgetting about the Michigan kid, Justice Haynes. He's also
he's awesome too. Yeah. Nick Singleton. Thank you. Dev says Nick Singleton is the Penn State backup that I was thinking.
Yeah, Singleton, and then it has a running back from Washington mocked higher than Singleton, Jonah Coleman.
Yeah, so I think is it this Friday night or next Friday night?
And then they have
this Saturday. Washington plays this Saturday, I believe, against Boise State. So we'll get a chance.
And then they have a Washington, or not a Washington. They have a Wake Forest running back ahead of Katron Allen. Damon Claiborne.
I'm not sure about him.
I mean, yeah, they have 4 running backs mocked in the top 3 rounds. Or 5.
Yeah. Do you like Katron Allen?
Yeah, he's in there.
Do you like him, though?
He's Penn State. We don't like any of those guys.
What, you like Pitt Panthers or something?
Yeah. Let's not go down this pathway right now.
Why do they need to fire their coach too?
No, we don't want to get the channel demonetized, spread.
All right, Jayme. While we're talking college football, bro, how long before we have a 32-team playoff? Like, what's the point? Like, why are we even arguing about this? Like, we just need more teams.
They just pull names out of a hat.
Bro,
we see more teams.
I hate the fact Notre Dame didn't get in. To me is like, look, the Miami Notre Dame thing. If you want to say Miami beat Notre Dame head to head, they should be in. That's totally fine. But that should have been on the rankings for weeks. Like the fact Miami Notre Dame finished their games, had no more games, they had no more common opponents, and you still had Notre Dame ranked 2 spots ahead of Miami. And then without any of them playing, all of a sudden it gets flipped. Also, Alabama, like, why do some teams get punished for losing conference championship games and then some don't? How does BYU get punished? Alabama had -3 rushing yards that game and got boat raced by 3 touchdowns, and they didn't move a spot. Like, that was their opportunity to move Notre Dame back to 9, Alabama at 10, and then Miami they would be the buffer between Miami, or Miami should honestly have got in over Bama too. Like, Notre Dame was a top 3 to 4 team in the country. The odds all shown that. They were 6-point favorites against Oklahoma on like those look ahead things. Alabama's like a 1-point favorite. It's like that to me was just an absolute.
Yeah, no, it's
just
ridiculous.
Like, it's a joke, dude.
Yeah. We need 32 teams in there.
Yeah, 30. They're going to go 16 next year.
30, you don't make it. Oh well, right? Just like build, the NCAA, right? Like for 1 second.
Just build out a bracket to start the year. Just bracket the teams off right at the beginning and just play the tournament.
100%. Well, also too, like, okay, I'm sorry, Tulane and James Madison, they don't deserve to be in there.
21 and a half. They're 21.5-point dogs. What would Notre Dame be against Oregon?
Against Oregon, they'd be favored.
Oregon. I would say it'd be Oregon -2. Let's say it's in Oregon.
It would be Notre Dame -1.
You think so? Yeah. I think it was somewhere around there too. And
Yeah,
what would you
100%.
rather watch, bro? And I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I just watch football. I don't have a college football team. I would much rather watch Notre Dame go to Oregon. Like, what are we doing here? This is a TV show.
100%. You know what you should have done? You should have told Tulane, Jayme Madison, here's $5 million. Go buy yourself some players. You're not making it in.
Or that play in. Like, you guys play each other, right? Like they do.
Yeah, you play each other, you get one spot. You get one spot. Like, come on.
Tulane versus James Madison. Like, come on.
Yeah, like that's just terrible. Those guys, it's going to be boring. They're going to lose by 30. They got no chance of winning.
But that's why I want to have 32 so Tulane and James Madison can still have a shot, because it would be a cool story if it did happen one year. So let's give them the opportunity.
Right.
So let's just move it to 32.
Yeah. It's got to be more, and the issue is though it's just never going to be. There's always going to be a team, right? People are like they should be.
But at 33, like nobody cares. Just like in the NCAA's, like someone doesn't make it and they're 65, and we talk about it for like 3 minutes.
Right.
We're like, oh, Illinois State should have made it, and then the games tip off, and we never mention it again.
Right.
You know,
then they go to NIT and get waxed.
We're still going to be talking about this Notre Dame thing on New Year's Day.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, if Alabama goes in there or Miami goes in there and they get boat raced in game 1, you're definitely going to be hearing.
That's all
about
you're going
it.
to hear about. Yeah,
100%.
Who's winning it all?
I don't give a shit. I don't care. I honestly, Ohio State probably is what I'm going to say.
Ohio State.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's going to be Ohio State and Georgia, right? I mean, like those are two.
They play each other in the semifinals. That's your championship game, probably, but that's not going to be your actual championship. It can't.
Who's on the other side that you would like on the other side then?
Indiana, probably.
Kind of like Tech. That defense is tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sorry. Texas Tech look good.
Yeah, they're good too.
Just give me the random team that's never been there really when you look around the other team names. So I'm rooting for Tech.
Is there I wonder if there's a bet to do to take Georgia and Ohio State over the field, right? Or is there any bets like that? I would imagine. Like, you know what I mean? Take one
on yours, there definitely is. Wait, did I bet the wrong team? I bet Texas A&M. Oh wait, I meant to fade Miami. Yeah, I bet A&M. Where's Tech? What's Texas Tech laying?
9-1.
All right, well, we'll figure this out on another show. We have plenty of time to talk about it. All right, Jayme, final words.
That's it. Yeah, I'm excited. Best ball playoffs now coming. Hopefully everyone, got to watch the shows all season and had some good advance rate. I had my best year ever in best ball, thanks to Meg and Steve and everyone here watching a lot of the shows. So hopefully everyone else got to tune in and get to win some money. Hopefully someone gets to take down a tournament. Maybe someone takes down $2 million for the best ball mania, I think, up top. And I know you guys did a bunch of DraftKings stuff, so I know you guys are gonna have some good fun sweats along the way. So hopefully someone here takes something down, man.
Yeah, for all of our screaming we did at each other in the summertime spread, we did about 20 25 shows.
Yeah.
Every 1 in 4 times you raise my blood pressure, we got an advance ticket because we got 4 swings at this thing. So
all right. Well, I'll be rooting for us, and we'll give you guys some updates next week. Tyler, final words to get us out of here.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Tomlin survives again. The Yinzers live on again with luck and more luck than ever. So, this is what it is.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team.